Welcome back. Today's question is going to be a maths question, and I'm going to use the 2023 paper. And we're going to look at some of the multiple choice questions. Now, we're actually going to do this for the next 5 days, including today. And the reason we're doing that is because we're about the stage whereby next year's Oxbridge applicants are going to start doing their exams. And doing questions like this is just going to help you go into that exam with a bit more confidence. Moreover, a few of the techniques, well, the questions won't ever be the same. A few of the techniques will be used again and again. So I've chosen 5 different questions from the 2023. I've tried to get a different range of skills. Some of them are notably harder than the others, not necessarily in difficulty order, but they are close to being that. But either way, usual thing, pause the video, have a go at the question. Let me know how you've done down in the comments below. Any questions or anything you're not sure about, let me know. I'm going to give you a full solution. If I was doing the exam myself, I'd probably come to a conclusion slightly quicker, but I'm going to walk through the full solution just so you're aware of what's happening. So again, pause the video, talk to you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so what do we have in this first question? So it says, in this question we write a equals log base 10 2, b equals log base 10 3. Now, notably here, is all of these are to base 10. So they're all log base 10. And that means I can probably combine these numbers in some ways. And then it wants me to work something out and work out which one is closest to an integer. Okay, slight aside, I'm not going to explain what logs are because hopefully at this stage you know how they work. But for example, if I write down log 2, I'm saying which number do I do 10 to the power of? So 10 to the power of what is equal to 2, and that's what that number there is. So it's just a way of rearranging an indice, if you like. So I need to think about these numbers that I've got down here and sort of make a prediction, but obviously it's maths, so therefore I need to be a bit more precise than guessing. Okay, so let's do this first one. So this first one says 2 times beta, and that's the same as saying 2 times log base 10 3. Convention is, if you don't write the base, then it is already base 10. And to be honest, it's just quicker not to write it each time. Now, going back to your log rules, you should know that log 2 times log 3 is the same as log 3 squared, which is the same as log 9. Now, again, what am I saying? I'm saying 10 to the power of what is 9. That number is going to be fairly close to 1 because 10 to the power of 1 is 10. So this feels close-ish. You know, again, not good enough, but good enough to sort of explain what's happening. This next one is 5 alpha plus beta. So in other words, that's going to be 5 times log 10 2. So in other words, it's going to be log 2 to the power of 5, which is 32. Then I'm going to add that to log beta, which is the one that I did in the last question, which is 3. Now, log rules tell me that when I add logs together, I multiply the powers, multiply the number. So 3 times 32 is 96. So that's going to give me log of 96. Now again, let's just think about what we've got, and then I'll sort of run through the next ones a bit quicker. Log base 10 of 9, in other words, 10 to the power of what is 9. 10 to the power of what is the nearest power of 10, which is 100. Well, that's going to be 10 squared. So that 96 is going to be closer to 2, 10 squared, than 9 is to 1. It feels like that's right, but I'll explain that in a bit more detail. Let's just do the rest. So a plus 2 gamma is going to be, a is 2, so it's going to be log 2 plus 2 lots of gamma, which is 7, plus log 49, 7 squared is 49, so that's going to be log of 98. And again, 98 feels close, doesn't feel, 98 is closer to 100 than 9 is to 10. D, I've got 2 alpha plus 5 beta, so let's write it down. So 2 alpha plus 5 beta, so that's going to be log 2 to the power of 5 plus beta, which is 3 to the power of 5. But thankfully, it gives me a hint here in case you wonder why that was there. So I know that's going to be log of 972, in other words, 909.72 times 100. And E down here is going to be 2 alpha plus beta plus gamma, and that is going to be log, well, 2 alpha is 4, 2 squared is 4, times 3 is 12, times 7 is 84, that's going to be 84. So again, to try and word this carefully, which number, as in which of the numbers in the log, which number is closest to its nearest power of 10? And the answer is going to be C, which is going to be 98. So the answer to this first question here is C, which I feel quite comfortable with. Now, if you don't like that, if you want a bit more convincing, I'll do it with this one only. You can see that log 96 is the same as log 10 plus log 9.6, because 10 times 9.6 is 96. And you can now log 10 to the power of 10, well, 10 to the power of what is 10? It's 1. So I've got 1, which is an integer, plus this number here. That number must be closer to an integer than that number there is. So you could also take it a stage further and really prove it and show it, but I'm quite happy with the way that I've got. I'm happy I've convinced myself. The answer to this first question is going to be C. Not an easy question by any means. It is definitely the case that the math exam has got a bit harder. It sort of used to lead you in a bit easier. But if you got that, well done. Any questions, leave in the comments below. Anything you think I've done wrong or want to debate, leave in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Tomorrow's question will pop up in your feed. Again, another math question tomorrow. We're going to sort of continue running through a few of these questions. Thanks all. Bye.